Here's the question that costs people thousands of dollars, and it sounds like he's doing you a favor. You sit down at the desk, you've done your research, you know what car you want. You feel ready, and he leans back, real relaxed, and he asks, "So what payment are you comfortable with?" You say a number. He smiles. That smile, that's the whole trap right there. And by the time you understand why he smiled, you've usually already signed. Let me tell you about a woman I want you to picture. Let's call her Renee. She's a nurse, early 40s, been working hard her whole life. Her old car is finally done. She spent 2 weeks online comparing models, reading reviews, checking reliability scores. She walked onto that lot on a Saturday morning feeling prepared, feeling like an adult who had done her homework. Here's the thing though, Renee thought she was walking in to buy a car. The guy behind the desk was doing something different. He wasn't selling her a vehicle, he was selling her a term length. And those are not the same transaction, even though they happen at the same table, on the same piece of paper, with the same handshake at the end. That's the first thing you need to understand. When you walk into a dealership today, the price of the car is almost beside the point for how the desk structures the deal. What they're really moving is the monthly number. That's what they're optimizing for, not the total you'll pay, not the years you'll be paying it. Just what goes on the calendar every month. And here's where the numbers tell the story. The average new car payment in this country right now is $772 a month. Not a luxury buyer, not someone who's stretched for a sports car. The average, which means half the people driving off lots are paying more than that. 1 in 5 new car buyers, 1 in 5, is signing up for a payment over $1,000 a month. That's not reckless people. That's not buyers who went in without a plan. A lot of those people are Renee. They did the research, they felt ready, and they still walked out locked into something that's going to cost them for years because the desk is designed to get you there. That's not an accident. That's the system working exactly the way it was built. And Renee, she walked out that first Saturday feeling good about herself, like she handled it. The dealer walked out having hit his number. Both of those things were true. Only one of them knew it at the time. So here's the mechanism. Here's the thing they don't need you to see. The dealer doesn't have to lower the price of the car to make the deal work. He doesn't have to come down $1 on the sticker. All he has to do is stretch the months. Think about what that means in practice. Say you're financing $43,899. That's a real number for a real mid-sized sedan today. Nothing special, nothing luxury. And say the interest rate you're being offered is 6.9% APR. That's the yearly interest rate, what the loan actually costs you on top of the price. Okay, if you finance that over 48 months, 4 years, your payment is just over $1,000 a month. If you finance that same car, same price, same rate, over 84 months, that's 7 years, your payment drops to $660 a month. Same car, same price, $390 a month apart. Now, which one sounds more manageable? Which one feels like it fits in the budget? $660, right? He didn't lower the price, he didn't give you a better deal, he just handed you more time and called it affordable. But here's what affordable actually bought you. The total amount you pay over 84 months with that interest rate running for 7 years instead of 4 is thousands more than the 4-8 month version. Thousands, not a rounding error, not a small difference. The gap between those two loans is real money that you worked real hours to earn, and it goes straight to the lender. And nearly 1 in 4 new car loans right now are written at 84 months or longer. Nearly 1 in 4 people on the road bought their car on a 7-year plan, which means a huge portion of the driving public is locked into payments they can't escape for most of the decade. But here's the part that really gets me. This is what I want you to sit with for a second. Around month 30 of a long loan, and this is where it gets a little specific, but stay with me. Something happens. The car's value has been dropping. Cars lose value fast, especially in the first few years. But because you're on a stretched loan, you've been paying mostly interest. Your loan balance hasn't come down nearly as fast as the car's value has. So at some point, and it can happen faster than you think, you owe more on that car than the car is actually worth. That's what's called being underwater, or having negative equity owing more on the car than the car is worth. And it's where the trap gets a second jaw. Because here's what happens next. The car's got 80,000 miles on it. Something needs fixing. You're tired of it. You go back to the dealership. They're thrilled to see you. They say, we'll take that trade-in, no problem. And they will. But the amount you still owe, that gap between the loan balance and what the car's worth, that doesn't disappear. They roll it into the new loan. Now you are financing two cars in one monthly payment. You're paying off the ghost of the old car while making payments on the new one. And if you do that again in 5 years, you can see where this goes. The design of these long loans isn't just about selling you a car. It's about making sure you always need another one. You never reach a point where you own what you drive free and clear. The payment never ends. That's not a side effect. That's the point. Okay? Here's what you do. Whether you're buying a car next week or you're sitting right now in a loan you don't love, there are specific moves available to you. Let's go through them. Action 1. Set your number before you walk in. Time frame. This week. Time required. 1 hour. This is the move that changes everything downstream. Before you go near a lot, you're going to do 3 things. First, you figure out your out-the-door price ceiling. That's the full number you pay, taxes and fees included, not the sticker, not the sale price, the total. You pick a ceiling and you hold it. Second, you decide right now that 48 months is your maximum term, not 60, not 72, not 84, 4 years. If you can't pay the car off in 4 years at a payment you can handle, the car is too expensive. That's the rule. Third, and this is the one that gives you real leverage, you go to your own bank or a credit union before you set foot on the lot and you get a pre-approval. A pre-approval is a loan your own bank already said yes to before you walk in. You know the rate, you know the term, you know your number. Now you have something to compare against whatever the dealer offers. You're not walking in hoping. You're walking in with a backup that works. When he asks, what payment are you comfortable with? And here's what you say. I'm shopping price, not payment. That's action 2, and it takes about 5 seconds at the dealer. Don't explain it. Don't soften it. Don't add, but I'm flexible. Just say it and stop talking. What that sentence does is close the door on the monthly payment negotiation. It forces the conversation back to the actual number, the out-the-door price. That's where real negotiation happens. That's where you can actually win something. Some dealers will push back. Some will get the manager. That's fine. The sentence still works because now they know you understand how the game runs. And that changes how they play it with you. If you already have a car loan this week, make 2 phone calls and find out where you actually stand. Call your lender and ask for your payoff. Quote, that's how much it would cost you to pay off the loan completely today. Then look up your car's private sale value, what someone would actually pay you for it if you sold it yourself, not what a dealer would give you on a trade-in. If your payoff quote is higher than the private sale value, you're underwater. You owe more than the car's worth. That's not a crisis, but you need to know it because it changes what moves are available to you. And if your payoff is lower than the private sale value, you have equity, you own more of the car than you owe. That's a different position entirely, and a better one. You don't have to panic. But if you're underwater, you do have to pick a direction. That's action 4 this month. And here are your 3 options. Option 1, keep driving the car. If it runs and you can afford the payment, staying put lets the loan balance drop and the car hold more of its value over time. That gap narrows on its own the longer you stay. It's not exciting, but it works. Option 2, refinance if you qualify for a meaningfully better rate. Not just slightly better, meaningfully better. We'll get to that in the next action. Option 3, if you have to get out of the car now, sell it privately instead of trading it in. Private sale value is almost always higher than trade-in value. If you can sell it and cover the remaining balance, even if you have to put in some cash to close the gap, that's a cleaner exit than rolling the shortfall into a new loan. Look at the numbers and pick the option that actually fits your situation. You follow me? Not the one that feels easiest in the moment. Action 5, refinance check, 1 phone call this month. If your credit score has gone up meaningfully since you signed your loan, or if interest rates in general have come down since then, it's worth that 1 call to ask about refinancing. You're looking for a rate that's genuinely lower, not marginally lower. And here's what you're not doing. You're not using a refinance to stretch the term out longer. That defeats the purpose. A refinance that helps you is one that lowers the rate and keeps or shortens the timeline. If neither your credit nor rates have improved, don't bother, it won't help and might not be worth the hard inquiry on your credit. One call to find out is all it takes. And then there's this one, the walk away rule. You're at the dealer, it costs you nothing, and it takes no time. If the only way the dealer can get to a payment you can handle is by stretching the loan past 48 months, the car is too expensive for you right now. That's it. That's the whole rule. It's not a judgment call, it's math. A longer term isn't a solution, it's a transfer. It takes money out of your future self's pocket and gives it to the lender in exchange for the feeling of affordability today. And if the car you want genuinely doesn't fit in a 4-8 month frame at a price you can reach, there is a version of that car you can afford. It's called a used one from a private seller 2 or 3 years older. The walkaway move isn't failure. It's you understanding the deal better than the dealer wanted you to. Let's go back to Renee. After that first Saturday, the one that didn't go well, she went home and thought about it. She didn't sign anything. She came back the following Monday and called her credit union, walked them through what she was looking at, got a pre-approval at a 4-8 month term, and had her rate and her ceiling locked in before she went back to the lot that next weekend. Saturday morning, same dealership, different Renee. She finds the car she wants, sits down at the desk. He leans back and asks the question, "So what payment are you comfortable with?" She says, "I'm shopping price, not payment." He pauses, gets the manager. The manager sits down and tells her they can make it really work if she goes with an 8-4 month term. Payments drop way down, very manageable, great value. She pulls out her out the door ceiling, runs the math against the offer. The number is 2,800 over her limit. She thanks them for their time and gets up. She walks. 2 weeks later, she finds the same model, 2 years older, lower miles, private seller for a price that fits inside her 4-8 month frame. She uses her credit union pre-approval. She drives home in that car, knowing what she owes, knowing when it ends, knowing she's not underwater on day one. That's the whole move. She didn't get lucky. She didn't out-negotiate a professional. She just walked in knowing which question they were going to ask, and she knew the right answer before she sat down. So here's the thing about that question. What payment are you comfortable with? It sounds like he's asking if you can afford the car. That's not what he's asking. He's asking how long you're willing to pay for it. And the reason he's asking that instead of the other thing is because the answer to that one gives him a lot more room to work with. Now, you know the difference between those two questions. And you know that the right answer to the one he's asking is, I don't negotiate on time, I negotiate on price. The dealer doesn't lower the price, he stretches the years. So you walk in already knowing your price, already knowing your term, already knowing what you'll say when he smiles. That smile doesn't mean the same thing it used to.